the face of illegal mining in Benoni. Residents of Northmead and Moorhill are calling on government to take action against illegal mining activities along Golden Drive, Benoni. The concerned residents have, in the past few months, been subjected to continuous blasting, day and night.
Hi, I'm Claire England. I live in Moorhill. We are talking about the hectic explosions from the Zamas. It's scary, to say the least. We literally every single day 15 to 20 explosions go off, and they start sort of early in the morning. They start early in the morning during the course of the day, but hectically at night. They wake everybody up. They're scary. So yeah, something needs to be done about it, because we're all going to sink into a huge sinkhole if this carries on.
And then how many years have you been living in Benoni?
11 years.
11 years.
Yeah, and they're definitely getting worse. Literally in the last 2 to 3 weeks. It's dreadful.
But like, what do you think is the solution to this whole thing?
Government. Nobody else can get involved but government. And people say send the army in. What army? We don't have an army. We don't have military. The government needs to get involved. Plain and simple.
Steve O'Toole, also in Moorhill. We residing here for a year. I'm not going to echo what was said, but I think the other issues that we have is, if there is a collapse of ground, who is going to then pay for the damages, and God forbid if there's any person that's injured or killed. That's one of the additional issues that we have, apart from the inconvenience of the noise. Late last year there was a running gun battle that lasted for about half an hour, and that was quite scary. So I think the security of the area is in question, as well as the inconvenience and the possibilities of ground collapsing. That's it.
Okay, and then maybe just tell us, obviously, like, I don't live here in Benoni, but maybe just explain to someone who doesn't live here, like, what's the extent of this explosion, like how does it sound, and then maybe how many hours does it run off?
Well, basically it's a 24/7 operation, and it's very sporadic. We find that you can have one day there'll be a lot of explosions early hours in the morning, and followed by a few during the day, and vice versa on the weekend, for instance. So one can't really judge how this whole thing goes. It's just willy-nilly as it goes along, and I think it's mainly the irritation factor, and of course the security. People living here are on edge.
This is the 20th of February, 4:45 in the morning. There were 2 explosions. They're loud. Then you'll see we go down. 7:30 was not so loud. That's how it's heard here at the top of Moorhill. At 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, loud as if they're working in your back garden. And then it goes later. Here we go, 1 o'clock in the morning, the next morning. Sounds like they're in your backyard. 2 o'clock, our windows vibrated. 5 o'clock, loud. Then you go down to 6 o'clock, the windows vibrated. 7 o'clock at night. This was the night they were very busy, that Kia was telling you. 8, 9, 10, they didn't stop. And that's our biggest concern. It's a security issue. I haven't updated from yesterday. It is a security issue, and our concern is that our houses will fall into a big sinkhole, and nobody will actually care, and nobody will know more than anything. And government needs to get involved. There is no one else that can help us. The value of our properties will decrease, and who would want to live in Moorhill if you came to look at a house and there's 3 explosions while you're looking at a house? I'd run like hell.
And then you mentioned something about the windows vibrating. Can you please elaborate on that?
When that explosion happens, it feels like it must be almost under one of our properties that our windows vibrate. If your window doesn't seal 100%, you can hear them all rattle.
Okay, and then you started compiling this data from when?
The 6th of February. When I'm at home, then I keep a record of how we hear them up at the top of Moorhill, and how many explosions there are and at what time.
Residents in the area have gone on record stating that blasts emitting from Shaft 13 can be heard daily. The City Times recently spoke to a blaster to shed some more light on this. It is suspected that the Zamas are using packaged explosives. These are reasonably cheaper than what is being used in controlled environments. However, it is more dangerous. The miners are more likely to use these materials as the blasting fumes are much lower, allowing them to get back to work much sooner. The police recently held an operation at Shaft 13, and this is what they found.
Yeah. Die dromme wat agter op die bakkies is. Hulle sit daai dromme nou hier op en dan so draai hulle hom. So hulle sal hom nou hier op sit. Daai drom rus nou hier en dan draai hulle hom. Hulle het sulke groot staalballe binne wat hulle crushers noem. En dan so crush hulle hom. En dan net daai loop hy nou hier af en dan myn hulle dit so daarin. So dis hulle setup. Dit is maar een van die rou materiaal nog hier, soos die sand wat nou afgespoel is, maar daar is niks waarde daarin. Sien so, hulle spoel hom so af tot in daai put en dan myn hulle hom nou met die fyn poeier uit. Daar dan goud in. Sop net daar, hier is hierso. Daar's hulle.
Concerns are, however, mounting as to what impact these continuous blasts will have on the environment and the infrastructure. This feature was compiled by the editorial team of the Benoni City Times.